Do you struggle with your nutritional intake when it comes to either gaining muscle mass or losing weight? Because it can be challenging. Because food is an emotional thing. We have so many connections to food that we don't even realize. And that's what we're talking about in today's episode. So get ready, strap in for episode 106. Let's go.
I've always been that skinny guy.
Why can't I gain muscle mass?
What do I do in the gym?
They said I'd always be skinny.
This is your complete source for how to gain lean muscle and break out of your skinny body. From nutrition to getting the most out of your workouts and everything in between. We know just how frustrating gaining muscle mass can be, but don't worry, we've got you covered. You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast. Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody. I will be your host today. And before we jump into today's content, if you've not been over to bonestobulk.com, head on over there. I created a free training. It's basically a video of me yabbering for about 15 minutes, but it's the three main things I so wish somebody had sat down and told me when I started my journey, because it would have saved me so much time, so much grief, and so much just like wasted effort because I didn't know what I was doing and I needed someone to direct me and I didn't have that. So I created what I wish I had had. And you can grab that. Just head on over to bonestobulk.com. You'll see it right there on the homepage. Click on the free training. It'll be delivered to your inbox. Can't get any easier, right? All right, with that being said, let's dive into today's episode. So eating and food, and why is it so freaking hard to stay on track with our nutrition intake? Because, we can go in and we can do a workout. We can work out for like an hour and we go in, we hit it hard, we come out, we feel good about our workout, and we're done for the day. We don't think about it anymore. The next time we have to think about our workout is the next day. With food, it's constantly with us. Like we have meals, we have snacks, whether we're at school or work or wherever, there's constantly food thrust in our faces, convenience stores and fast food and restaurants, and we can't get away from it. It's everywhere. And so how do we keep from messing up all the time? And don't get me wrong, you can have a cheat meal. You can. Like there's nothing wrong with having a cheat meal. I have cheat meals. The thing is, if you don't have a healthy habit to begin with, don't start eating cheat meals because you don't have those healthy habits in place and it's just going to derail you and you're going to end up turning that cheat meal into a cheat day, into a cheat week, and it's just going to be downhill in a bad way from there. We have to realize that we have however many years you've been alive. Maybe you've been alive 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 50 years, like whatever. You have all these years of habits of how you eat. Like tons of habits, tons of unhealthy habits. And we think that we can just undo that with a 30-day fad diet fix. And that's just bullcrap. Like that doesn't happen. It doesn't work. You don't just magically get fit and lose weight or gain tons of muscle in 30 days. And anybody who tries to tell you you will is probably trying to sell you some bullshit, like they are. It's really important to remember that when you're starting this, it's not an overnight process. It's okay if it takes time. It's okay if it takes months and even years because you've been eating in an unhealthy way for years and years. You haven't been working out for years and years. So why would you think that you can just automatically turn all that around in a matter of mere days or weeks? It's just not humanly possible. And we think, oh, well, these people do it and these fitness gurus do it and these movie stars do it. Actually, they don't. If you really go in and you look at movie stars and you look at these people are spending hours and hours a day in the gym. They have trainers, they have nutritionists, they have people preparing their food. Like they have all the resources available and it still takes them a long time. I know Chris Pratt, when he went through his crazy transformation from being pretty overweight dude and not in shape to being the buff guy he is now, it took him about 9 months. And that's, again, his job was to go work out and he had trainers and he had nutritionists helping him all along the way. And it still took him all that time. And that was like his day job. Like his job was to get in shape and it still took him that long. So if you're just spending a couple hours a day or an hour a day, yeah, it's going to take you some time. So that's okay. Recognize that. The second thing to really come to grips with is we have a lot of emotion associated with food. Food conjures up memories, feelings. You've probably maybe experienced it where you smell a certain food and it brings back a memory, maybe of home, maybe of a certain event, maybe a grandparent's house visit. Like food has a close tie and connection with our emotions, whether we realize it or not. And so when we get in this state of we can just all of a sudden eat healthy, what we're forgetting and what we're missing is the emotional side of the eating. Food also ties into our emotions with, have you ever had a bad day
or a bad week and you're just like, you know what? I deserve to go to freaking wherever and get the deluxe ice cream with all the toppings. Like, I deserve this. I deserve this steak. I deserve this fill in the blank. Like, it's easy to get in that mindset if we've had a hard day to think, oh, I can go and splurge on this. And I'm not saying you can never do that. Have I done that? Absolutely. I have bad days. I have days where just stuff sucks and I don't feel like thinking about healthy food and I just want to order a pizza and some wings and down it. And that's okay once in a while. But what we have to recognize is if we're doing that on a regular basis, that's killing our goals. It's stopping them dead in their tracks. One thing that I like to refer back to, and I'm going to be doing a future episode strictly on this, but the 80-20 principle, 80% of the time, go hard with your nutrition, with your workouts. Make sure you're on track. Make sure you're doing what you need to be doing. And then 20% of the time, you can ease off a little bit with the food. Now, that doesn't mean go crazy. That doesn't mean like eat insane, but enjoy some things. Like, life's too short not to enjoy some things. I know that. I realize that. And just this last weekend, I had pizza and I had ice cream and I had some donuts. Like, a huge splurge for me. And I'm okay with that. The next day, I got right back on track and I haven't had anything bad since. And so it's just recognizing like, okay, I'm going to have this stuff, but I know that I need to get back on track and this isn't going to derail me. This isn't going to become a bad habit that I fall back into. And that's so important to recognize. So what you really have to begin to learn as you change the way you eat is, one, go slow with the change. And what I mean by that is pick one thing, maybe one thing this week or this month that you're going to give up. Maybe it's soda, maybe it's ice cream, maybe it's cookies, maybe it's fast food. Pick one thing you're going to give up and solely focus on that. So maybe it's soda. Maybe you're like, you know what? I'm going to ditch the soda, whether it's diet, whether it's regular, it's all crap, and I'm going to just ditch it and I'm going to drink water instead. And that's all you focus on. You don't focus on anything else. You just eat regularly, all the same stuff, and you build that healthy habit of not drinking soda anymore. Then after a month goes by, you're going to have some motivation because you're going to see, wow, I went a whole month without soda. What else can I go a whole month without? And then add something to it. Pick something else. Maybe it's ice cream. You're like, you know what? I'm going to go the entire month without soda and ice cream. And what you're doing is you're building this solid foundation in these building blocks, because as you eliminate one thing, you realize something. You realize, you know what? I'm stronger than I think I am. And I have the capability to truly make change. And as we make these small changes, again, we get the motivation, we get the drive to do something else. Because as we accomplish small goals, guess what? It leads to us wanting to create more goals. We can't just look at the big picture and the big prize and be like, I want to gain 50 pounds of muscle. Well, cool, but break that down into baby steps. What does that look like? You know, maybe I'm going to gain 4 pounds of muscle a month. So that's roughly in a year, 48 pounds that I can gain if I gain 4 pounds a month. And break that down, I need to gain 1 pound a week. So how am I going to gain 1 pound a week? Well, I'm going to start with making sure that I'm eating in excess of my calories. So if I'm burning 2,500 calories a day, I'm going to eat 3,000 a day. Because I know that 500 extra calories a day for a week equals 3,500 calories, which equals 1 pound. Times 4 weeks in a month, that's going to be 4 pounds a month. So you've got to break it down into those easy to manage baby steps, because if we just look at the big goal, we're going to try, we're going to fail because we're going to get overwhelmed and we're just going to suck and fall flat on our faces. That's just the way it is. Like, you've got to have the big goal in the back of your mind. Like, don't lose sight of that. But you've got to focus on the small goals, because it's the small, everyday things, the non-sexy things, the things that nobody wants to talk about because it sucks ass. Like when you only are craving ice cream and the only thing in the house is peanut butter and dates and a banana, guess what? You're not really enjoying life right then. You're like, man, all I want is some freaking ice cream and all I have is this healthy food. It's not fun in the moment. And that's what not enough people are talking about, because we glamorize it. We show that it's easy and that it's take these pills and get on this fad diet and get on this crazy machine and just magic is going to happen. Well, it doesn't. It's the day in, day out grind that keeps you going. With that being said, if you are on Instagram, you can follow us at Bones to Bulk. If you're on Facebook, we have an incredible group of people on there that are literally from every single walk of the journey, from beginners to other trainers to people in between. and we just share our fitness journeys together, encourage one another, share advice, and have a little bit of fun along the way. So if you're on Facebook, just search Bones to Bulk, join the group. It's a great place to connect with some other people. All right, with that being said, remember, no matter what obstacles you've come across, what things stand in your way, what people are telling you can or can't do, focus in on what you know you want to do. Hold on to that goal, break it into manageable goals, and just remember that you've got this.